Hello YouTube, today a kind of surprise topic, even for me. Because today I will cover who is right, Saadia or Kematu. I told you that I wouldn't do more 4th era stuff anymore, but I think that this can be a very interesting video and I've gotten a lot of requests for it and I have never really covered it. So, the question who is right has never really been a question to me. One side is clearly lying and in my opinion it's Saadia. But I always thought that this was quite clear to the community, but I've gotten a lot of requests for this video as of late and there's been a lot of discussion under some videos and also in my Discord on who is right. So I will share my honest thoughts on the subject and maybe you can disagree, but hey, we'll see. So first, a bit of background. This is one of the quests nearly everyone has at least had in their quest logs for some time. You are hired by some Alikir warriors from Hammerfell to locate someone they've been searching for, a Redguard woman. From the start, the Alikir warriors seem shady and you can even encounter them on the road harassing random Redguard women, and this doesn't really inspire any confidence in them. When you've accepted the quest to search for the Redguard woman, most players will quickly discover that the woman the warriors were looking for was Saadia, the assistant in the Bannered Mare. From this moment on, you will be forced to choose sides, as when spoken to Saadia, she will tell you her side of the story. She will tell you that she is a noble from House Saadia from Hammerfell, and that she fled to Skyrim for speaking against the Dominion. She is now being hunted down by the Alikir, who are hired by the Thalmor to track her down and kill her, because apparently Hammerfell is secretly under the control of the Dominion, and according to her, she would not be safe in Hammerfell as the Dominion want her blood. Now, after this story, she will send you on a mission to kill the Alikir leader in Skyrim, a man named Kematu, who hides in Swindler's Den, the base of operations for the Alikir in Skyrim. When you reach their leader, he will ask you for you to lay down your weapons and talk to him for a moment. When you talk to him, he reveals that Saadia is actually a noble that sold out the people of Hammerfell to the Dominion. He says that she sold out the city of Taneth to the Dominion in the war, and that if it were not for her betrayal, Taneth might actually have been able to hold out during the war. When the other noble houses of Hammerfell discovered her betrayal after the war, she fled to Skyrim. Now those same houses want her back in Hammerfell and for her to stand trial, because the resistance in Hammerfell against the Dominion is very much alive and they want justice. This is Kematu's side of the story. Now there are two options. You either kill Kematu and believe Saadia's story and you get some gold, or you tell Kematu her hiding place and sell Saadia out to them for gold. When you deliver her to them, they will take her with them for a supposed trial. And otherwise, if you sided with Saadia, all the Alikir warriors will be dead and Saadia will live out her life happily in Skyrim. Alright, now this completely hangs on who you tend to believe. However, in my opinion, Kematu's story is way more believable for a number of reasons. While most players side with Saadia because she seems less shady and more trustworthy, and Kematu just seems like, well, not that trustworthy because he seems kind of shady and most people doubt if he even tells the truth. His story actually has way less holes in it. So, let's start with the first argument I have. Capture and trial is not the way the Thalmor work. Neither do they hire mercenaries to capture or kill. They use their own stealth justicars and ambush troops. They hire spies from other races and from just local people. But this kind of work of capturing and killing and maybe imprisoning, they always do internally, using their own forces. We don't have any other example where they hire someone else. They could just brand her a secret Talos worshipper and capture her. I mean, they have the authority according to the White Gold Concordat. Plus, if you think about it, if Saadia really spoke against the Dominion in Hammerfell, Hammerfell was controlled by the Dominion, you wouldn't send the Alikir warriors, because if anything that becomes clear from Kematu's dialogue is that he loves his homeland, and at any point someone who loves his homeland and is forced to assassinate someone who sold their homeland out, at any point he can betray the Dominion. So I would, as the Thalmor, if this were a Thalmor case, always send my own soldiers, and this is usually what the Thalmor do as well. Now, there's another thing. In her dialogue, Saadia states that she wants that they want to have her killed, and that the Alakir are actually assassins to sell her blood for money. However, Kematu is genuinely pissed when you kill her, as he really wanted for her to go to trial. So, that part of the story also don't really checks out. However, this is what the most people already know, and that's why there's still discussion, because this isn't really watertight proof. And it's not really why I think Kematu is right. Why Kematu is right, according to me, and something that I often don't see in discussions, can be found in an entirely other place. In Skyrim there's a quite rare book called Flight from the Thalmor. This book is really rare and can only be found in 2 or 3 confirmed places. I found it once in another place, but the wiki and the UESP only confirm 2 confirmed places, but I found it in another place. Tells a story. This book actually tells a story of the Nordbard Herrick Oakenheart, and how he was captured by the Thalmor and escaped after torture by the Thalmor. This book, Flight of the Thalmor, is actually an excerpt of his diary that he kept after escaping the Thalmor. This book is not very relevant to this whole story, the contents of the book. However, the intro to this book that's on the first page actually is, as the book does not start with the story, it starts with another message, and it reads like this. Dearest reader, the work you are about to experience has been copied and duplicated so that the story it relates to can be spread throughout the Empire. But make no mistake, this is not a work of fiction. The events chronicled in this account are all originally true and were originally documented in a private journal, which now remains safely guarded in the House of Quills in Hammerfell, and occurred not more than a year before this book was printed. This part was written by Ashad ibn Khalid, High Scribe of the House of Quills in Hammerfell. What this message tells us is that Hammerfell is trying to spread and is also printing anti-Dominion propaganda in the Empire, because the Empire would be in trouble if they printed it themselves. Hammerfell, if it was under the control of the Dominion, would never be able to do this. So this means that the resistance in Hammerfell against the Thalmor is in fact very much alive, like Kematu says. So what Kematu says actually checks out. And what Saadia says, that the Dominion has too big of a foothold in Hammerfell, can't possibly be true if something like this gets printed in Hammerfell, because the Dominion wouldn't allow it, like they don't allow this kind of thing to be printed in the Empire here, which is possibly in jeopardy with the White Gold Concordat. The reason most people actually side with Saadia nonetheless is probably because I did it as well in my first few playthroughs before finding this book, because Saadia seems more believable. I mean, in any scenario, Kematu seems just extremely shady and just untrustworthy overall, because of the way the Alakir get presented to you. They get sent out of the city for harassing people. You see them harassing people on the road. They hide in a bandit den. I mean, I wouldn't trust those people in real life, and I wouldn't sell someone out to them. However, when you see the full picture, then things become a little more clear. I mean, of course, it could be true that maybe Saadia's right, maybe Kematu's wrong. However, I think that all the evidence presented to us here, and there are some other small things, but these are the major things. With all the evidence presented, Kematu's story is way more likely. However, you can of course always disagree with me. That's what we are on the internet for. So, if you like this video, like the video, subscribe to my channel for more Elder Scrolls lore related content. This was more of a discussion, not really a lore video, but the next video will be completely lore again. Also, if you want, you can support me on Patreon. On Patreon you get access to your name at the end of every video, like it's right here. You'll also get access to my exclusive soundtrack, which I had made, and you can get HD downloads for it. And you get access to a vlog and some other Patreon related content I've put out on there. If you want personal contact with me, there is my Discord and Instagram in the description. And I will see all of you in the next lore video, which will be something non-4th era related. I'm already working on 4 subjects at the moment that will release over the next couple of weeks. However, I'm still busy, so cut me some slack. I will see you all in the next video. Bye bye.